definitely
Are
not
you
here.
here now?
Ah, no, I'm hearing you, my brother. How you do? Great to have you.
I am great. Thank you so much for having me. And of course, a pleasure to be here once more. You know,
Yes,
let me
course.
just say
Yeah,
greetings to you and your listeners, both on air and on the line, your team
right.
members.
So for those who are listening, it's Councillor Courtney Edwards, and it's great to have you, my friend. Just remind us which area you are the councillor for,
Independent City Division.
Independent City. Now, time is short today, but we're going to take a look at the people. Normally, we invite you, our representatives, to come on to talk about what they are doing. But you made a special request, and I think it's a very valid one, about what you think, how the people could become involved, what they need to do. So set it out for us.
All right. So, as a representative, the local authority, I am really concerned as it
Yes,
relates to development because most people will see development as it relates to improving infrastructure, changing their lives only as a priority or a matter for
yes,
elected officials, which really and truly that is not the case. So we are saying people's involvement, ought to be greater in these developments or these thoughts, you know. Even we are even seeing as it relates to civic pride, those things are on the decrease. And we know that if people are more participatory, then of course with a better governance. Oftentimes you hear decisions which are being made on people's behalf, and then there are some pushback otherwise. But really and truly, the people are not participating fully in the process. And as such, I am here today just to, seek, of course, lobby people to get more involved in community development.
and must I commend you for using this forum to do so, because I have seen it too. There's a lack of pride, and especially civic pride. Let me ask you, from where you stand,
Yes.
can you identify anything, or what is happening to Jamaica, where we seem to be losing? We are losing quite a bit, but we need to identify what is happening. And if we identify what is happening, then probably we can take corrective actions.
I think it's about education. There has to be a structure in place that people can identify with. It is said that if you plant a tree and ask me to water it, I may never water it because my interest is not there. But if
Yes.
I do plant the tree, there's a special interest and I may want to water it. I am more inclined to water it.
Oh, I
So the point
see.
I'm really making is
Mm,
that once people are involved in development from grown up,
yes.
see the need, how is it beneficial to me? I think the people are being more inclined to participate. Um, I look at even the community structures where you have monthly meetings, community meetings, and people do not really come to these meetings, you know. And of course, there are much to be discussed at these community forums. So I am just, as I said, making a special plea because I know that you cannot really truly develop a community without people's involvement.
Right.
We are seeing on the rise where civic pride is on the low, and we're seeing the dumping is a problem, both on community green spaces, the drains, and oftentimes these result in hazardous situations. And of course, what do you call it? The parish councillor or the elected member of parliament.
And of course, then I
So
do not
only when there are issues,
never waste
of
of
course,
time. So we throw the garbage. But
yes,
they our costly
yes,
counselor, they must them not doing anything.
yes. Yes. And funny, it's coming up during the season now. It's up on us.
Yes.
And yes, so this is a special program as well. So we want to ensure that persons would really adhere to the simple regulations that relate to disposal of their garbage.
But counselor,
Mm.
I when I went to school, I'm sure I'm twice your age. And when I
Yes.
went to school, we didn't have any helpers to sweep the floor. We had to go cut bush, string them up together, and we had to sweep the floor. And then we had a thing they call shoe block,
Mhm.
which is a hibiscus plant. We used to
Yes.
use that now and polish the desks.
Well,
So when we come to the morning, we had to look after the place and clean it up. Now we have a society where you come in and you have cleaners who do everything for you.
mhm,
So what you
yes.
simply do, you throw the garbage on the floor and
Mhm.
somebody will pick it up for you. I'm wondering if all these changes are not impacting negatively on our attitude to be clean and to support cleanliness.
Well, it goes both ways, Vernon, because
Yes.
from one end, it can be seen as if you're creating employment. And on the other end, it can be seen as if you're creating dependency. Because if you look at the whole idea of being personal responsibility.
But let me stop you right there, though. A school is not to create employment, it's a training ground. And it's far more important to train our young people to be clean and to be productive than just providing jobs for somebody outside. Let us find something else, some other jobs that they can do. School is not there
That
to provide jobs for people.
that is one sort of reason. But
Yes,
we're on the same point because I think the idea of being responsible is where we are.
yes.
Because if you look at even parenting, I think we have fallen from grace as it relates to proper parenting.
Oh,
We
Lord,
have a
oh,
lot of
yes.
we do have a lot of mothers and fathers. However, the true nature of parenting is absent.
Are your
You know,
children having children these days?
yes, fulfillment of the prophecy, I would assume. However,
My God.
we have to go back to a time where people say they need to be a part of. How
Yes.
how will this affect me? How will my actions affect me? Not only me, but others around me. And that is where we have to look at. You know.
But family life and home, that certainly is lacking because if I was still in the teaching profession and a child was giving me problems, I couldn't call this one his parents to come and talk to them. No, man, because you'll find out that these parents, well, in the days where you get a kid, they probably need more kidding than the children. Well, we say we move away from that, so we say. But at least for these parents, they need far more guidance. So you can't call this for these parents.
That is so true. Because we are now witnessing a situation where
Yes,
if you would have served 20 to 30 years or more in the classroom, you'd have been seeing three different generations.
yes,
You'd have taught their parents and you would have known some of the shortcomings, So really and truly, when you find a parent who is not even able to help a child with homework, that's a serious cause for concern. But the fact of the matter is that most of our challenges stems from parenting. And
yes.
as such, parenting has to be looked at in a particular way, which will actually create a different change, a serious change in a positive direction.
What
We
it,
want, I'm
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
what is sad is that how parenting was conducted years ago. It was
Yes,
passed down from from generation to generation. I remember in Chilano, you go to all the river now and the whole woman them a wash them clothes, and them a lecture the young girls, They be a pick the nowadays, ma. You have to bend the tree before you get old, And they actually lecture you. You see that as talking, but they're
well,
lecturing.
well,
But nowadays,
well,
I don't have that kind of. And then you have these thoughts, Carry go bring come this and all, If you hang your basket too high, you can't catch it. Things
well,
like
Verna,
this.
I tell you,
Yes,
I will add because we are facing a serious generation gap.
yes.
I give an example because the transfer of knowledge, customs, and traditions, it needs to be more nurtured. I tell you one thing. I had an experience some years ago when I was on a bus, and
I tell you what, normally we take a
yeah,
musical break there, but because we came on late, I think we will have to just continue with you. So just
sure,
continue the conversation.
sure. All right, so the 1 year I was on a bus, and a pregnant lady came on the bus, and one gentleman said, "There's a lady who is pregnant to some students. Give her the seat, man. Offer the seat." If the female student turned to the gentleman and asked, "Am I saying I go breathe?" Can you imagine that? No. If this is the response of our future, a school child who is supposed to, as we said, children are the future, right? And that was the response. It shows a lack of care and compassion and empathy, right? So we have bred over the many years a different type of generation who is not with much care. And
But
hence, I looked at a video since week, the TikToker
yes,
who was killed, right, in broad daylight,
broad.
right?
Mister,
Yes,
listen, no man. When I saw it, I said these people just make up these fake news because they want
yes.
to make money. Not no gossip.
We are too comfortable with
Yes.
committing crimes with no retribution, right? No empathy, no concern of what can happen to us as in consequences.
And by the way, as soon as anybody talk about what action should be taken, there are a lot of people bawling, no, not too wicked. We don't care let them. I am just amazed. There are far more voices out there who are ready to defend those who commit these heinous crimes rather than those who are speaking in support of those who are left behind to fend for themselves because due to the act of these
Yes.
heartless,
Yes.
cruel people.
And they are in the minority, a handful
Yes,
of persons, you know. So it is just sad that you would want to demand, even of the government,
yes.
that something has to be done about crime. And whenever there's a reduction or something is being done, then of course the spotlight is turned on the same force that is preventing or reducing the crime. It is just that. Some things must be given for us to achieve certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
One thing is sure, though, the conversation must continue. And it is quite interesting. You see, you come here, come turn the tables on me today. That's what you come here, come do, because normally you hear, want to hear from the councillors and so on. But you have started a conversation about the people. And I think your other colleagues need to follow up on this one. There's a need, there probably is need for a Marcus Garvey again, I don't know. The people need to wake up. The people need to start to think differently, because if the people don't think differently, then it will be business as usual. You will continue to make more laws, but when a man has evil in his heart, gun can't pick up and fight itself, It
Exactly.
takes a human being to do it. So when they are evil, unless you're going to have a policeman watching every single person, you have a problem. So you will have to encourage your other leaders to start speaking a different type of language to the people.
But Vernon, as you
Yes.
mentioned, that we're not short on laws in this country,
Oh,
We are
yes.
short, we are short on enforcement and adherence to such. That
Enforcement
is where
and
we are.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, man.
I
So
just mentioned before you came on, I want to take up your conversation with that, with the fish, not the fish, the chicken, which mysteriously appeared on our shores and we're looking
yes,
at. I don't know because probably there were guns in it and so on. And yet, after all this while, people have them chicken and lucky they never have diarrhea or even worse than that. And we still have not been told
mhm,
who was held accountable.
mhm,
If that thing fell off a boat,
yes,
did any boats go out there to monitor what was happening, to see
and
that
which and
uncustomed goods did not get into the wrong hands?
yes, and which boat it came off.
Well, that him
So
talking about that. And I
how could
could
we
go
have
on,
faced?
which boat it, we don't even know. Is that plane which crashed in Clarendon there? We
Yes.
haven't heard a word about it since I can continue. I can tell you about the plane which was alleged landed at Vernon Field, and I
Mhm.
gather when they tried to capture it, there was some heavy firepower came from that plane, and the plane flew away. I wonder how must be supersonic jet. He just flew away and disappeared, and nobody could find it. So there are too many cases of things happening. So people are losing faith in the system. So you are right in terms of we have quite a number of laws, but then if nobody is held accountable, nobody pays the
Mhm.
penalty, then you have a
You
problem.
see, Vernon, I think we are missing a key element because
Yes,
even when you look at civics, it teaches that the people are the government, right?
yes.
People turn it around, right, to just to say only those who are elected are the government. We,
Ah,
of course, are the voices, right,
yeah,
that dictate policies, right? Because remember, I must represent the views and concerns or the needs of my constituents.
right, right.
And as such, those are to be ventilated elsewhere where they are not, right? But we must really and truly see ourselves as part of this, the process or most
Yes.
of the solution at this point.
Now, there are some who believe that the people are now also godless. And I'm not here to preach Christianity or preach what they
Yes,
call it Buddhism or anything. But one thing
yes,
I know is that when you don't have any philosophy, you see, the breeze will blow you anywhere you come in, just like a
anywhere.
piece of trash.
I agree.
So that is also a challenge. You have the parental challenge, you have the fact that persons are not being held accountable, and also people don't seem to abide by any philosophy, no God in them at all.
I do. It's it. it's about having a structure to grow
Yes.
upon or to guide you. Because I remember going to school, every morning you had to sing national anthem, you had to say the national pledge,
Pledge. Yes.
and you was at the national school song, you know? And those things are like periodic interventions now, maybe twice for the week or once, but these are not routine activities anymore, right? So the kids do not really have these things intrinsically inside of them. So we'll look at the idea of devotion in school. Prior Bible verses, the kids are just at a point where they're not necessary to them, but
Well,
we
you
have to
have to
get
carefully, Next
we
you read the Bible to
reinforce.
them, you hear the parents complain, say, my child is not a Christian, my child
No,
is not a so-and-so. So,
no, that is
why the whole
understandable.
society mixed up,
Yes, that is understandable, and respect has
Yes.
to be given to people and their
And a
personal
religion, right.
or philosophy. That is fine. But I'm saying, generally speaking, there has
Yes.
to be more regard for law and order, the morality of the country, you
Yes.
know. And it stems from good parenting as well. You train up a child in the way that he or she should grow. And therefore, when they are old, they won't depart from it, right? But the diversion that we are now faced with,
Mhm.
right, there seem to be more than, well, they would say the things which are bad are more, so they become the norm.
Yes. Like, for
Yes.
example, if I started to go right across this country, you know me, but and you me start, if I ever turn a bad man now and start saying, girl, you this son, girl, you that one, girl, you this one, I'll become a superstar in a matter of a day or two.
And it is evident, if, as you mentioned, the music culture, this song which are culturally inspired and practical,
Yes.
right? Those artists are never going anywhere. But once you mention that, there are evidence as well of good artists who sung lots of cultural beats, and they came for a while and they fell in a hole.
And
And
I say nothing.
until they hit a certain type of song, they rose again, But I'm just saying, there has to be a balance in this
Mhm.
country, and we can't deny the fact that music is very influential, right? It inspires. It also is a way of life. People adopt music as a way of life. So we have to be careful of what we're saying to our people in music.
It is just amazing. It's just like I remember I saw something saying that the a lie will take off
Yes,
before the truth gets to put on its pants. It's just amazing. And you also have to listen to social media. The
yes.
amount of rumor and the gossips, and the people just love the gossips. And let me tell you, if you think that people are more informed nowadays, they are more confused because the amount of misinformation that is going around, and it
Which is
seems
which
to
is the irony of
excite,
everything.
yes,
That
it
is that
seems
is
to
the irony. Yeah, man.
excite the people. My brother, it's always a beauty to talk with you. And it's amazing that people think so badly of our politicians. But here we have a politician on air giving solid advice. But I wonder if people are listening to him. If he came and said, Ray, nice, and what have you, and this, and PNP or JLP, that's what some of us want to hear. But so you continue to encourage the people to be
Yes,
positive, encourage the people to, as I say, cleanliness is next to godliness, and so on.
yes.
We need more political leaders like you. And of course, so long as I'm here, I will be inviting you on more often.
Thank you so much, Sir Darby. Always a pleasure.
Yes. Councillor Courtney Edwards, thank you very much, my friend. Have a wonderful day. And I think you're also a teacher.
Yes, I am.
Probably that's why.
Well, it's with me to serve.
To
So
serve,
I think
yes, yes.
it's a service, and then you transcend to a higher order, which is
Yes.
politics.
Take care, my friend. You have a wonderful day until we meet and we talk again.